Hello, my name's Faye, and today a few things came together that made me want to talk to you about German books. I wanted to recommend German books and figured out that I actually haven't read that many and can't recommend that many. I'm German and I have set myself the goal to read more books from different countries, and German publishing houses are actually pretty good at translating books. So I found that I've had a renewed interest in actually checking out the German books section in bookshops now that I also want to read different books. And I went down a little rabbit hole on YouTube and found the hashtag Read German Books 2020 by Britta Böhler, a German booktuber. She does English videos, but she is originally German. And yes, so she had this hashtag for the year 2020. So I'm quite late to the party, but there were many videos for me to catch up on if I want to find more German books to read. Today, I thought I'd share two books with you that I can wholeheartedly recommend, and the bar is very high because I am critical of books written in German. I don't pick up many, and talk to you about three books that I want to read and hopefully get the conversation started about books written in the German language. If you read in books any other language than English, if like me, you've kind of gone off reading in your native tongue, all those questions I think are really interested to dive into. I'm kind of jumping onto a bandwagon that's a bit old, but for me it is very current. So I will start with recommending a non-fiction book, Sprache Sein by Kübra Gümüşay. In English, this has also been published and was translated as Speaking and Being by translator Gesche Ibsen. This book was published in 2020. It's a non-fiction about how language, and even more so how we speak, influences how we see people, how likely we are to discriminate. She's a very intelligent woman. She was born 1988 in Hamburg, so she's sort of my cohort, and I do find that if I shut myself off too much from reading Germans that are my age, I am also closing myself off from experiencing the country that I live in fully. So yeah, I'm like a poorly integrated German in Germany, which is weird. I can really recommend this, especially because it has been translated. And then a book that hasn't been translated into any other language that I could find is Laufen by Isabel Bogdan. This is the story of a woman who loses her husband. He dies, surprisingly, and she writes how she sort of spends the following year getting obsessed with running and how that helps her sort of work her way through her grief, basically. The author, Isabel Bogdan, was born in 1968 in Cologne, and I really like the style, how this was written, and I have recommended this to people who don't have German as their first language, but understand it, are able to read it, because I do think this is quite easy, the way it is sort of built up, and I thought it was actually just quite moving, and rarely a book written in German by a German author that I really enjoyed. Now the three books that I want to read, I'm curious if anyone else has them on their radar, and if not, maybe we can read them together, you know, for further motivation for me to actually pick them up. There's Daheim, written by Judith Herrmann. This hasn't been translated into English, but into a plethora of other languages: Swedish, Turkish, Slovak, Czech, Ukrainian, Norwegian, Danish. So I thought this deserved its moment. Judith Herrmann, born in Berlin, where I live, in 1970, is a really well-known German author who I've not read anything by. I went to the Leipzig book fair 2-3 weeks ago with my friend Anna, and she was there. She read something by some other author. She's, you know, a well-known figure in the German literature landscape, and I don't know her. This is a book about a woman somewhere in her middle age. I'm just going to use that very useless term to describe a book that I haven't read and hence don't know how old the protagonist is. But Daheim translates to sort of at home, and she writes about sort of decisions that she's made in her life, moves that she's decided against and for, I believe, sounds very sort of meandering, and I read like just the first 1 or 2 pages in picking up this book right now to talk about it, and it has a very sort of sparse text, which I think is something that will help me like it, because usually I dislike that Germans prefer long rambly sentences. So I have high hopes for this. I also just want to be able to sort of have a picture in my head of who Judith Herrmann is. Karen Duve, Regenroman. This has been translated into English. Rain is the title of the English book, translated by Anthea Bell. Karen Duve, born 1961 in Hamburg. In this, we follow an author who's moved somewhere out to the moors, and we think everything is perfect. He sort of craves being alone, and then things just sort of start to go wrong. His marriage is in shambles, and he gets wrapped up in some affair, perhaps. I mean, I've not read it, but if you've heard of Regenroman or Rain by Karen Duve, then let me know what you thought. I have both of these that go together very well, just like judging by their cover, from my mum, so she at least recommends them, and yeah, I'm curious to see what it's about. And then I have another heavy-hitting, well-known female German author, Julie C. Leere Herzen. I think this is an author that should appeal to me because she's written quite a few sort of dystopian novels, and I believe Leere Herzen is also one. This was published in 2017 and has also been translated into English under the new title Empty Hearts, translated by John Cullen. And in Leere Herzen we follow Britta and Babak, I think, who run a business together that is sort of somewhat elusive, and no one really knows what they do. In her sort of day job, our protagonist helps counsel people who are suicidal, and as it turns out, this business idea that she has with her partner, her business partner, is a very sinister side hustle from that. Written in 2017, this comments a lot on the time 5-6 years ago. Like, Brexit was a political topic that we were interested in. Trump was out of office, I believe, and this sort of set in a sort of near future Germany, which is amusing because I guess now is near future Germany as far as this book is concerned. So I'm curious to read this, and I also think I should read some Julie C. She's written loads of books. Quite a divisive author, I feel like. There's some people who love her books, some people who hate them. So yeah, this is one that I'm curious to talk about. It's been translated into English, so you can join the party, and help me out which books I should prioritize. You know, help this German find her roots. I hope you're doing really well. Enjoy going down those rabbit holes if you read in any other language than English, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.